If you've seen my blog post or my video about my 2019 goals, you know that I want to be reading way more nonfiction in 2019, but the reason that is because I read so much great nonfiction in 2018. So this list is a really tightly bound compilation of what I found to be the best nonfiction of 2018, and I hope you'll find something that you want to read and experience for yourself. To celebrate the end of the year and the start of 2019, I am doing a wrap-up, a yearly wrap-up for all of the best books of my top 5 most read genres. So I hope if you like things like horror or general fiction or mysteries or suspense thrillers that you will check out the other videos I have for you and find something that I think you're really going to enjoy for your next reading list. So without further ado, let's dive into the best nonfiction of the year. We're about to get so much smarter. First up is Deep, and the title is actually really long, so hold on. It's Deep, Freediving, Renegade Science, and What the Ocean Tells Us About Ourselves, and it is by journalist James Nestor. Now, this is a book that I heard about on my favorite podcast, Mysterious Universe, years ago, okay? And I heard about it, and the podcast interview was so compelling that it really stuck in my head, but I kind of just never went for it. I never went out and got it. For some reason, this year I discovered it on Audible or something, and I decided to listen to the audiobook, which was fantastic, and it completely blew me away, just like I thought it would after the podcast interview. This is really the eye-opening experience of James Nestor, a journalist, as he dives into the freediving world, which is a very unique sport, and stretches what you would think is possible for the human body to do, particularly in an underwater environment. It's very science-based, but not so much so that anyone who's not interested in science wouldn't find it fascinating. It's really approachable in that way, and I think because he's a journalist, he found that perfect balance really well. He tells about his own experiences, which are really adventurous and really fun to read about, but he also talks about adventures of others he meets and interacts with, and it's really just a moving, fantastical book that is going to shock you and surprise you and warp your mind in so many ways that you didn't even realize. It would be such a fun experience for anyone if you just gave it the chance and listened to it, because whether or not you're necessarily interested in oceanography or marine science, it doesn't matter. This could appeal to anyone, and I would just Google James Nestor. He's done a lot of interviews and stuff like that, so that would give you a good idea if you're interested in what he has to offer in this book. But wow, it was fantastic, and this is another one of those books that I read and then my husband read because he overheard it and thought it was amazing, and he loved it just as much as I did, if not more. Next up is The Bedside Book of Beasts by Graham Gibson. God, I am the worst at pronouncing names, but I hope you guys can forgive me. This is a book I actually got on vacation. I think we were in Georgia or South Carolina or something. We did like a mini South road trip one year, and this is from that trip. I like to do that. I like to get books on vacation. So I finally got around to really completing this. It was a book that I had read in pieces years ago and then just sort of put down. Now, this is a great book, as the title entails, for reading at your bedside because it's a miscellany. So it's got poetry, it's got journal entries, it's got like everything basically that you can think of. It's got like tall tales, everything compiled into this wildlife miscellany that's based on the hunter and the prey, man versus beast, and it feels historical and beautiful and wonderful. It's full of incredible illustrations that are gonna absolutely like enliven your soul and ignite your imagination a little bit. So it's an interesting book to have. I will say also that not all books are well made and beautifully made, but this one is. It's just a cool book to have on your shelves, if you know what I mean, to flip through on occasion. You'll find stories in there you really love and want to share it with your family or your friends, and I just highly recommend that you pick this one up. I really don't read many memoirs, but the next one is one that I really enjoyed, and it is from Bryan Cranston. It is called A Life in Parts. You probably know Bryan Cranston, as most people do, from Breaking Bad. If you knew him before that, it would be for his work on like Malcolm in the Middle, which I think is one of the most underappreciated, humorous family TV shows in the history of all time. It's hilarious. Basically, needless to say, I've been a Bryan Cranston fan for a long time. I think he has a gift with expression and faces, and he like fully commits to every role he does, which you'll see if you watch any of his comedic roles, like in Malcolm in the Middle. And I just adore him, and I think he's a great person in general. So when I found out that he had written this memoir, I knew it would be funny and engaging, and he has like the best stories because he's lived a kind of crazy, tumultuous life. He's had some weird jobs in his time, and it was really fun hilarity to read. I really enjoyed it. I really think that before Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston's like genius was not fully appreciated, and I still don't think it is because he's really funny. And when you watch Breaking Bad, that's not something you necessarily know him for, but if you need a laugh or pick me up, or you just want like some really funny stories that feels like a friend is telling them to you, then definitely pick up A Life in Parts by Bryan Cranston, and definitely watch Malcolm in the Middle if you haven't already. That's all I'm gonna say. Goals. The last two on my list are more of the business development, self-development books. The first being The 5 a.m. Miracle from Jeff Sanders. Now, this isn't necessarily about waking up at 5 a.m., but it is one of the best, if not the best book I've ever read on productivity. It's a very practical book. It's like no BS. It doesn't like ramble on forever. He just gives you practical advice that's really helpful and thoughtful and honestly changed the entire way that I organize my day and my weeks and my years for planning. So basically that's, I think, that's pretty high praise that you can give anything, right? But I would highly recommend it. There's a lot of books with a really similar title, so I would just like pay attention to this book cover right there, and it is A 5 a.m. Miracle by Jeff Sanders. Last is a recent audiobook I listened to by John C. Maxwell, a leadership coach, called How Successful People Lead, and John C. Maxwell is a new favorite of mine. I would recommend almost any of his leadership books because he comes from such an earnest, authentic place, and he's really practical, he doesn't hold anything back, and he's really all about helping you become a better leader. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur or a manager or anything to be a good leader. Everyone's a leader in their own right. You can be a leader in your own home, you can be a great mother or a father or a sister, any of that. And his books will help you if you look at them from the right perspective. I just think he's great, and I want to read more of him in 2019. That is it for the best nonfiction of 2018. I really hope you've enjoyed this list and that you found something that stirred your imagination a little bit and that you want to dive into further. Now remember that there are other videos, wrap-ups for the end of the year for best general fiction, best horror, best mystery, suspense thrillers that I really hope you'll check out if you're interested in those genres as well. I'll leave links in the description as they become available. Other than that, if you liked this video, do me a huge favor and just give it a quick thumbs up. Leave a comment below if there's a nonfiction book you think I'd really enjoy. I'd really appreciate that because it's a crowded market. I need to know what's good, okay? So help a girl out. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, but you like bookish things, book reviews, book hauls, unhauls, wrap-ups, unboxings, all the good bookish stuff, then go ahead and press that subscribe button because I'm your girl. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.